Hey everybody, welcome back. Wanted to share my thoughts on what I think may happen with the economy, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a banker or anything like that. I've ran a couple businesses. I was pretty decent at it. Um, I know a lot of friends in the industry, and they shared some stuff with me, and it just makes all the sense in the world, and no one's really talking about it. You see some articles here and there, but it's a lot bigger problem than what most people think. Um, excuse me, I'll be enjoying a little beverage here while we talk. So, in the United States, we've had astronomical growth uh, since the pandemic. Americans have a love affair with automobiles, um, and we like our debt. Both are not smart. Um, so here recently, most Americans have had houses. Um, it's not like it was back in 2008 where people were buying multiple properties. I mean, it was very uncommon back in '08 to me. You could be flying and whatever and talk to a stewardess and she'll have three houses. That's how crazy it was. Now it's not like that. Now people have one home or something like that, and they've been saving up for a long time. And then even some of my underwriter friends, they're still saying, "Hey, they're coming to the table with 30% down," and that was with rates at 5%. So um, people are looking at the housing market to crash like it did back in 2008. Those conditions, in my humble opinion, aren't there. Um, Back in '08, people took their equity lines of credit, bought cars, jet skis, and stuff like that. This time around, it wasn't like that. Um, it went into automobiles and travel, um, which led to what we're talking about, what I think will be the black swan, right? Um, so you've got Americans that have hit record credit card balances. This is from Q3 New York Post article. $866 billion of credit card debt, and that was Q3 of 2022. Um, it's just astronomical, right? And then on top of that, everybody's talking about how strong the job market is. Well, what I think's going on in the job market is I'll get like what they call headhunters, whatever, recruiters or something like that. They'll shoot you messages or whatever, and you kind of look at it. Bigger companies are doing, and this is HR departments from back in the early stages of the pandemic when you had work from home. They're putting a job opening in every state in the United States. So, well, maybe not every state. Let's just say 48 states or whatever it may be, 45 states or whatever, right? They're listing those applications, right, or offers. What I think is happening is they're using those statistics um, as as job openings, um, and I think the market is drastically over on its job count. Recently, I had a friend that owns a business. He listed a opening for a secretary, had 47 job interviews or applications. Unheard of. Um, so I think the job situation is worse than what people think. It's just the data's wrong. You pair that with credit card debt of 866 billion, and then you see here, this is auto loan debt in the United States increased to 1.52 trillion in the third quarter of 2022. Look at that. Just parabolic move, right? That's unsustainable, right? And as interest rates creep up, you've got a worse than expected job market, higher inflation. I don't care what Powell says, people are still spending $4 for a carton of eggs or whatever, right? Larger families, they're struggling right now. This is going to lead to repossessions, and it's already happening. Have a buddy that runs a dealership, a fairly large dealership in our area, and he let me know that people are pulling into his dealership at least once a day, dropping the keys off and saying, I can't make the payments anymore, I'm dropping it off. And this goes into a larger thing, right? So back in 2020, 2022, banks were offering 140% a book on some of these automobiles, on used cars, not new, used, 140% a book. Zero down. Like in 2008, they weren't qualifying for jobs or nothing like that. A lot of the people, as soon as they got the loan, they filed for the COVID relief fund or whatever to avoid payments. A lot of shenanigans and tomfoolery happening in the car loan market. I have another friend that writes car loans, and he actually said he sent letters to two bigger dealers that had sent auto loans to him saying, we're overweight, we're cutting them off, we don't want any more, unless it's just like 800 credit scores, 20% down or whatever, 15% down, we're not taking any more. And that's what people don't understand with credit card or with car loans. The majority of people that play in that market is Capital One, credit unions, local banks, JP Morgan, and those guys, they don't play in it. I think Wells Fargo dabbles in it a little bit, but it's typically those credit card companies, right? And some of the local banks. So what has happened is, like tentacles, right? The bad debt has spread throughout the banking industry. And when you have people that are forced to make hard decisions, let's just say one of the members loses their job, right? They're going to triage survival. The first thing to go is unsecured debt, and that's credit cards. See you. And they'll try to survive as long as they can with that car loan, the home loan, food, roof, stuff like that, electricity, so on. If they can't make that car loan, they'll drop it back off at the dealership and Uber, do whatever, right? Because they can't replicate their home. They've got a home that they bought for $150,000 4 years ago. They refinanced it and got 3% interest. If they lose their home, the next thing closest to that is a one-bedroom apartment for $1,200, $1,300 a month, at least in my area. And if you've got a family, no bueno. Don't work. So I think any bank or anything like that that has exposure is going to have trouble. I think car dealerships that overpaid for these used vehicles during the bull market will go under. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't think they can afford to sell the vehicle at a loss, right? Because whether you go on the car lot or not and say, wow, that vehicle's expensive, it was $20,000 less. Well, it doesn't matter because they pay $20,000 more for it. So they're going to try to sell it for as little as loss as possible, or they're just going to have to sell it. And I think this ultimately will lead the manufacturers to bail out the dealerships, and it will be survival of the fittest. So a lot of pain. I don't think we're in a condition for a 2008 type recession. If it gets worse, um, it could get really bad. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. But that's my thought on it. Um, if you got any comments or whatever, if you think I'm off the reservation on this one, let me know down in the comments section. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I love crypto. I love stocks. It's one of my passions. But I also dig into the economy stuff. So I'll post stuff like this every once in a while. If you don't mind, like and subscribe. I've got a $500 giveaway over on the live section. Go over there and subscribe and comment on the video and get a chance to win $500. If you don't like crypto, I can send you like a crypto S stable coin or whatever that you convert to cash. So thank you again. Till the next time.